Apple just completely ripped up the rulebook with iOS 27, and honestly, I am still trying to process what this actually means for the entire ecosystem. We all knew Cupertino was working on something massive behind closed doors, but seeing the new Liquid Siri UI running directly on device and pulling data straight from Gemini is an absolute massive shift in strategy. Mark Gurman has been hinting at a serious neural engine overhaul for months, but nobody predicted Apple would just hand over the keys to a brand new triple swipe gesture that bypasses traditional search entirely. You literally just swipe from the middle of the screen, and this incredible edge-to-edge glowing liquid animation takes over your display. It feels completely futuristic. I tested this by feeding it insane multi-layered questions about hybrid car specifications, and it built a native comparison chart right there on the screen instead of spitting out useless web links. Ming-Chi Kuo recently detailed how the upcoming iPhone 18 lineup would require an entirely new thermal architecture, and right now, I completely understand why. The amount of raw compute happening locally before the phone even pings the cloud is staggering. If you look at the recent supply chain reports from the ELEC, they're pointing to TSMC 3 nanometers yields finally stabilizing for the upcoming M5 chips, which tells me Apple is preparing to push this heavy generative AI processing across the entire hardware lineup. Have you guys actually tried forcing the old Siri to understand complex context before this update? It was a complete nightmare. Now the system remembers your previous prompts permanently if you set the conversation history to forever. You can ask it to compare 3 different vehicles, and when it struggles, you just type a quick correction and it instantly pivots its logic. Shrimp Apple Pro leaked that Apple was testing dual voice AI personalities in the labs. And sure enough, we get these highly expressive American voice models in Beta 1 that sound borderline indistinguishable from real humans. I mean, I will believe the perfection when I see it running flawlessly on a daily driver, but right now, the beta implementation is wild. But wait, it gets even crazier when you open the stock camera app. Apple quietly integrated a dedicated visual intelligence tab directly into the viewfinder. Ross Young mentioned a while back that the display layers on future models were getting aggressively thinner to accommodate larger battery cells, specifically for power-hungry AI tasks. When you point this new camera UI at a random smartphone, it actually tries to identify the exact hardware model using entirely on-device processing. It is definitely still early beta material because it confused an iPhone 16 for a 15 during my testing, but the underlying foundation is right there. DG Times reported last week that Apple ordered a massive batch of next-generation image signal processors, and this is exactly where they are going. You can even point the camera at a restaurant receipt and tell the system to split the bill perfectly using Apple Cash. It failed in my specific region because of banking restrictions, but the ambition behind the feature is insane. This seamless integration of visual data is going to completely kill third-party scanning apps overnight. Mac Otakara published a detailed schematic showing reorganized camera internals a few months ago, and it lines up perfectly with these new software toggles we are seeing today. They moved the ProRes and action mode settings into a much cleaner, accessible interface. It is exactly those little Apple tax refinements that make the entire ecosystem so sticky. Do you think this visual intelligence is enough to make you upgrade your hardware next year? Let me know down below because I am seriously debating how much RAM this feature alone is going to chew through. Moving over to the lock screen, things get even more resource heavy. Apple introduced a crazy generative expand feature for your wallpapers. You pick a photo that does not quite fit the screen aspect ratio, and the operating system literally hallucinated the rest of the background to make it fit perfectly. It matches the shadows, the lighting, and the specific textures. It is clearly pulling from that massive Google partnership they announced, and the results are honestly stunning. But doing this heavily on-device creates serious heat generation. I noticed thermal throttling almost immediately when extending high-resolution photos. This perfectly aligns with those supply chain rumors about Apple completely redesigning the internal graphite cooling pads for the next release cycle. They're also giving us massive new weather widgets and dynamic island timers that look beautiful, but will absolutely drain the battery if your silicon cannot keep up. You can now track exact precipitation maps directly from your lock screen, which is incredibly detailed for a stock app. Even the Wi-Fi settings got a massive stealth upgrade called Connectivity Assist. It basically aggressively bonds your cellular data connection when your home Wi-Fi drops packets. It is so transparent, you never even notice a speed dip while browsing. The native password app now has a hidden feature that automatically logs into sites in the background and upgrades your weak passwords to strong ones without you doing a single thing. It is slightly terrifying, but incredibly convenient for average users. Then you have the cellular menu, showing upcoming support for data plan sharing across completely different iPhones. Imagine buying one massive data plan and just splitting the eSIM across two devices seamlessly without carrier fees. That is the exact kind of ecosystem lock-in Apple absolutely loves. Let me talk about the updated Control Center for a second, because it finally feels like it belongs in this modern decade. We are seeing these extra-large widgets and dynamic island integrations that just flow perfectly together. You start a simple timer, and it physically morphs into the island with a brand new fluid animation. It is that classic Apple visual storytelling where the digital software feels like a tangible physical object in your hand. And the new battery analytics finally give us the granular data we have been begging for. You can click into an app like Instagram and see exactly what it was doing at a specific hour on any specific day. No more guessing what is secretly killing your screen on time in the background. I also found a crazy hidden accessibility feature where the system forces live transcription across every single app running on the phone. You could be playing a random old video file from 5 years ago, and the phone will force real-time, accurate subtitles over it in your chosen visual style. It struggles a tiny bit with heavy regional accents right now, but the raw processing power required to do that locally is exactly why Ming-Chi Kuo has been screaming about massive RAM upgrades coming down the pipeline. Even a native Photos app got a silent but massive overhaul. You can now generate temporary iCloud share links for high-resolution photo albums that work natively on Android and Windows devices. Apple opening up the walled garden, even a tiny crack like that, is huge news. Anyone with the generated link can request access and view the generative AI edits you just made. When you combine this with the new audio-matched ringtone volumes where your morning alarm dynamically scales based on your current ringer settings, it is obvious Cupertino is heavily focusing on aggressive quality of life improvements this year. The sheer amount of features quietly dropped in this first beta is making my head spin. As we keep closely tracking these iOS 27 betas and the hardware leaks surrounding the upcoming M5 and iPhone 18 cycles, I will be bringing you all the deep dives right here on Educational Hub, so make sure you are subscribed. I need to know what you guys think about the Gemini integration specifically. Is it a total privacy nightmare or the absolute smartest thing Tim Cook has ever done? Drop your honest thoughts below. I'm going to run some heavy battery drain tests on this visual intelligence UI tonight, and I will have the final results in the next Educational Hub upload.